Bonjour, hello everyone. I'm Nata, host of the Nata PR School podcast. You're a successful entrepreneur or marketing manager and you're about to launch a new product or service, or you've been selling your goods for quite some time, but you want to learn how to increase your visibility, get known, and reach more clients? At Nata PR, we deal with real clients every day and we'll teach you simple, fun, and honest PR solutions. You'll learn easy steps to combine PR to social media right now. Keep listening and let's get started. Bonjour, hello, and welcome to this 71st episode of the Nata PR School podcast. I know, crazy, right? 71st. Today, the importance of your entourage. If you haven't listened to episode 65 yet, the 65th episode of this podcast, where I welcome the amazing Tina Poitras. She's a two-time Olympic athlete who sold her first company to Bill Gates itself. Her company was called Magma Photo, was a bank of images, and she sold it to Corbis. And Corbis was owned by whom? Bill Gates. She even met Bill Gates twice. And in 2010, she founded Namasté Leadership. And I had the chance to work with Tina. And so if you haven't listened to episode 65, please go listen to it. I find myself so lucky now that I have my own podcast and I can invite and share with you what these amazing personalities or guests have created. And I love so many things, but conducting interviews is something really fun that I discovered. I love that. I love to share that with you. And of course, this is the beauty of podcasts that you certainly know. One of the secrets is that you can listen to a podcast 50 times if you want. I love that. And in the 65th episode, there are so many gems that I'm sure you will appreciate. And of course, that we want to revisit all the time. And one of those gems that I want to explain a little bit and talk about today is what she calls, and Tina created it, so I want to give her the credit for that. She created something called the personalities. There are some letter systems. So letter A, personality A, B, C, and D. I'm not going to explain the whole concept, but you can, of course, contact her and work with her, obviously. But let's just explore what she calls the type A personalities, because I find this is something so important and so useful for all of us. If you've been lucky enough to work with Tina, maybe you know her, and benefit from the concepts from Namasté Leadership, you'll know that she talks very often about another concept that I love, and she says that all the time. Create, even if you're an entrepreneur or young marketing director or just founded your own company, create your own Olympic team. Surround yourself with people that can really help you go further and move forward. So this is what she means. She means find those people that are going to help you grow, move forward faster, and those who really will help you realize your dreams, whether if it's in your career or even if you have a personal dream. I don't know, even if you try to lose weight, try to surround yourself with people who will encourage you and will tell you if you decide to not follow your dream. They will tell you, hey, didn't you say that you wanted to accomplish this thing or this goal or this dream or lose weight, right? These are the famous A personality, A that you need around us. So we need to surround ourselves with these people. I love this concept because sometimes we don't pay attention enough to the people that are working closely with us, that we have around us. And Tina often says that without these type A personalities around us, there's no athlete that really make it to the Olympic. No athlete gets to the Olympics on their own, she says. I want to summarize this concept here because it really struck me when I did the interview. I'm like, oh my God, I have to spend time thinking of the people that surround me now at this point in my life. And according to many studies too, and many researchers, we are the sum of the people who surround us. Does that scares you? This sentence, to think about that. Oh my God, it's so we are the sum of the people who surrounds us. And the first person that said something about it is Jim Rohn. I'm not going to say his name well, but Jim Rohn is very famous. He was a coach back in the days. I don't know exactly the years, but Jim Rohn, Rohn, this is what he said. Something you may have heard, but that's really him who said that. He says, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Wow. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Oh. And of course, this relates to the law of averages, so which is a theory that the result of any given situation will be the average of all outcomes. Meaning that if you're surrounded by people that don't care about, having a lot of success, if this is something you want, of course, it's going to take time, and it might slow you down. You might make it, but it might really slow you down. This is why working with different coaches along your journey might help you go faster. Sometimes you have a coach for a certain part of a problem that you want to solve. Let's say, I don't know, you want to understand how your brain functions because you feel that there's a potential for you to explore there, especially about what you are thinking. You've heard that if you work on what you're thinking, your life's going to change, which is true, by the way. So find a coach that's going to help you work that aspect. And then when sometimes you need to change coaches. I have worked with different coaches myself. This is why I'm telling this. But all this to say that sometimes an A is just someone that's maybe 20% further than you are. And then, when you make it up to where they are, sometimes you need another coach to go even further. I remember even talking with some athletes, and one of them was telling me, let's say you want to become better at playing tennis. You started playing tennis 2 years ago, and you feel like you want to become better. Just that. Maybe this is just for your own pleasure. And this is what I was saying. Find someone that's maybe 20% better than you, and then you will improve your game. Otherwise, you're not going to get better especially if you're playing with people that aren't better than you, or they're as equal as you, as good as you. You're not going to move forward and become better. Isn't that interesting? And that's why Tina always says that. She invites us to surround ourselves with type A's as athletes do, because this is what she was doing when she was an athlete. This is why I love her so much, and working with her makes so much sense. So type A's, who are they? Huh? Sometimes they can be professionals, they can be friends too. Family, your brother, your sister. If they pull you down and tell you all the time you'll never succeed, well, maybe they're not A type, right? So you might decide to not see them as often as you maybe do. You see where I'm going. So these type A, they will stimulate you, and they will not be afraid sometimes to tell us that we're not going in the direction we said we would. Let's say we choose another road all of a sudden, then they will tell us, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? This is not what you said you would do. And that's what they do. They call us back to order, and they don't make pity on us, right? They won't say, oh, poor you, poor little one. So no. They're like, hey, you're better than that. I believe in you. I know you can do it, right? And they also know how to challenge us sometimes just enough, right? And it depends what you're looking for, but find these people that will not just say, oh, I understand, it's difficult, I know why you're not doing it. No. You want somebody who's going to say, well, I know it's your dream, so what's happening? How come you're not progressing? What's happening? We all have our division of the A's around us. But listen to this. If you run a business, or you just started one, or even if you're a communication young professional, think about your suppliers. Are your agencies A? Do they allow you to really think, be strategic, move forward? Maybe you have a coach. Is this coach really helping you, or you feel it's status quo? You're not moving forward fast enough. Your accountants, you need these people who are going to challenge you on your the money coming in and the finance, right? So these also can be looked through this filter, or are they a type A person, a type A professional working with you? So analyzing the business through these type A is a really interesting game, a fun game sometimes. And you've heard me say that. Look at successful people. Who are they surrounded by? Are they surrounded by people that help them really move forward? Sometimes you see founders, let's say they're super creative, then they find someone else that's really strong in business and finance, and all of a sudden they move forward together. Think about Celine Dion. Everybody knows her now. She really, at a really young age, she met this incredible agent, a triple A personality for sure, and her agent really made her achieve like highest, dreams that she could not even think. And she always, I remember she was saying she wanted to be like the number one singer in the world. Well, they kind of succeeded, right? So René Angélil was his name. He died a few years ago, but it's very impressive to see what both of those, they became a team. So these two, and well, Céline was also a triple A singer, of course, and listening to what René Angélil was telling her and doing it. So it's a very interesting recipe to analyze, really. All this to say that there are some other studies too that say your happiness is also contagious, or your unhappiness, depending. If you're happy, you might contaminate people around you. And this is what a study, very serious study, says about happiness. Each happy friend increases our probability of being happy by 9%. Is that crazy? While each unhappy friend decreases our happiness capital by 7%. And this is from a very serious study from Harvard, where they studied 5,000 individuals over 20 years. We're humans, so if you are able to surround yourself with good people, even people who are happier than you, so you will increase your happiness. Isn't that crazy? I love those studies. So hopefully this podcast really helped you think about what's happening in your business. And I hope this concept about your entourage, right? You're surrounded by type A personalities, so who's around you? And you might make some very serious change around who's working with you, and choose some other people, find new people to work with you as well. So hopefully you'll be joining us next week, and you know where to find me if you want to keep this conversation going and you're curious about what I think about what's happening in your business. I'll be more than happy to talk to you. So hopefully you'll be joining me next week. À la semaine prochaine. Hey, you want to learn more about how to implement PR strategies? Head on to natapr.com and get on our list. You will also receive the Nata PR model on how to create a successful PR campaign. If you want to become a client, just send us an email to nata@natapr.com. Talk to you next week. À la semaine prochaine.